These oils saved my life. In this video, I'm going to be telling you what you can do twice a week for massive hair growth. Alright, so a little housekeeping. If you hear any weird noise in the background, someone's mowing the lawn. There's nothing I can do about it. And I always get asked what lipstick I'm wearing. I am wearing the Makeup Revolution Friends collection, the color Rachel. It's a clear gloss, but I have two, so I don't mind getting this one messy. And then the lip gloss I'm wearing is also from Makeup Revolution, not sponsored. And it is this one. It's got like the animal print kind of look. It's a Revolution Pro one, and it is in the color Latte. I always forget what I'm wearing, so I decided to say it now. And if you would like the full makeup routine that I did, it is on my Instagram. You can check that out right here. It is Angie B with 3 underscores. And if you are not subscribed, as you can see, I give you so much information. I post videos twice a week all about growing long, healthy, natural hair, tips like hacks, a little bit of entertainment here and there. So if that seems like something you might be interested in, consider subscribing. The subscription button is right down there, as well as the bell icon. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications every single time I post. Without further ado, let's get into these oils. Okay, so first of all, oils are like the oldest, I think the oldest hair growth secret across the board. When you go to different countries, all the stuff you hear about hair growth, it's usually some kind of an oil infused with something. And oiling hair has been a tradition that's been done, especially popularly known by Indians, where they sit down in the line and they're all oiling each other's hair and doing the massage. That is such an amazing thing for hair growth. And something else that you see, I'd rather mention it now instead of at the end, is the best thing you can do combined with an oil is a scalp massage. And that's what really makes the oil penetrate into your hair and actually really work in very well. So most of the times when you see those lines where people are oiling their hair, they also do a scalp massage afterwards. So keep that in mind, so that you get the best benefits out of your oils. So the reason why I scaled down these oils, I'm only going to be talking about 4 specific amazing oils in this video. And the reason is there's literally so many oils out there, and you must be wondering like, oh my God, how do I even choose? Like, I did this video so maybe it can help so you don't overshop when you go to a store. Sometimes you might end up buying an oil and then you don't even use it because you just happen to not like it that much. Sometimes you go to a store and you see like olive oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, tea tree oil, peppermint oil, rosemary oil. So many different kinds of oils. And you're like, okay, I've heard stuff that argan oil is so amazing. I hear olive oil is liquid gold. I hear castor oil is amazing for thickening your hair, but Jamaican black castor oil is even better. But macadamia nut oil is great for like softening hair, and that peppermint oil has like a tingly feeling. But rosemary oil makes your hair thicker. But this, and then you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to choose. I don't have this much money to buy all this. So I'm focusing on the 4 favorite oils of mine. These are the oils I have used religiously this entire year and throughout my hair journey. So I thought I would share them with you, as well as how to use them, why you should use them, and the benefits. So I only have 1 carrier oil and 3 essential oils. Now you might be wondering, why is that? Why didn't you have 2 carrier oils and 2 essential oils? The reason is that carrier oils are not extremely, they don't show you a major difference in your hair immediately. They are oils that over time will have an amazing change in your hair. They'll make your hair feel soft and prevent breakage and stuff like that. But you won't see results as fast and as good as essential oils. So I was actually going to do all essential oils for this video, but I wanted to specify that you can only use essential oils if they are diluted into a carrier oil, which is why I made sure to put one of my favorite carrier oils in this video. Focus a lot of your attention on the essential oils, and then just find possibly the cheapest. I mean, I'm not encouraging you to spend so much money, and as long as something is 100% of what you need, there's really not a huge difference between the price points. Sometimes you're just paying for the packaging. So I'll get into the exact details of the oils, but for now, let's get into the first oil. So my first oil, let's everybody say it together: peppermint oil. Now, currently, this is the one I have. It's the one I've been using all year, and I think before that. And I don't mean this brand, I mean this same bottle, because you literally only need 3 to 5 drops depending on what you're making, depending on the quantity of what you're making. That'll depend on how much you need, but I only used very little of it. And I also have the peppermint plant in my yard. I love peppermint. So let me tell you how this works best for me. I put this directly in my hair, and this goes in my body. I drink peppermint tea, green tea, and peppermint tea together. Even when it's hot, like now, honestly, I'm not even lying. I drink 3 to 5 or 6 cups every single day. And a huge cup, like one cup is almost half a liter. I wish I had my cup with me right now. But yes, I do drink a lot of peppermint tea and it does have great benefits. Now, you might be wondering, well, Angelica, if you have peppermint leaves in your garden, in your house, why do you buy peppermint oil? Well, there is a reason why essential oils come in tiny bottles. This is actually the biggest bottle I've ever got peppermint oil in. The reason is it goes through a distillation process and it takes a very long time and it's very intricate. You have to get oil without getting any of the water. The whole thing is just tiresome. And time is way more valuable than money. So every single time I will buy the oil before even trying to make this. You can't just like boil it and think the oil will rise to the top and you can get it like that. Hopefully, I can find a video on the internet somewhere of how they distill peppermint oil so you can see that. Don't waste your time. Put it in your food, buy the oil for your hair. So, now, what are the benefits of peppermint oil, you might say? It does promote hair growth. It is my favorite thing. It's stimulating on your scalp. And by that, I mean it tingles, kind of like putting toothpaste. Now, let me just preface. A lot of people say things like Vicks and rub on, like deep heat, like anything that creates a tingling sensation. They say put it on your scalp and it'll make your hair grow, but it's not necessarily that. The thing is, the tingling sensation, no matter what it comes from, will send blood flow to your scalp because it's like, oh, something's tingling here. Let's send some blood there to heal the area. And then there's oxygen and nutrients and that. So, yes, that will attract the blood to go to that area. But the thing is, the other things in the formula of those other things that you're using on your hair may not be great for hair growth. They could clog your follicles on your scalp. They could cause adverse effects because it's not just peppermint oil. When you have 100% peppermint oil, just easily does what it's supposed to do, and all it has is benefits, unless of course you happen to be allergic to it, then that's a bad thing. But all the oils I'm talking about have a very low allergy rate. But if you happen to have an allergy to it, then that's the only way you'd see the adverse effects. But peppermint oil is the best thing to send that blood flow to your scalp. And if you want that cooling, refreshing, tingling feeling, you can just put like an extra 2 drops. Please don't think of getting like Vicks or Colgate or any kind of toothpaste, anything with like a menthol kind of thing to it, just to have that feeling on your scalp. Just use peppermint oil. But of course, diluted in your favorite carrier oil. So aside from doing that, it also helps boost your hair growth. So it's one of the oils that can help you have like one of those little growth spurts. And the best way to do this is to be consistent using it so that when your hair is in the anagen phase, which is the phase where your hair is like continuously growing and not really shedding, when your hair is in the anagen phase, the peppermint oil can help boost the hair growth in that phase and actually extend the phase a little bit. So that's where you see massive hair growth. So this is why I always say with all these oils, consistency is key because it's not like, our time of the month, Shark Week. You don't know, like, oh, every 28 days, my hair is going to shed because you don't exactly know when that shedding is happening and when the hair growth is happening. And also, it doesn't all happen at the same time because if our hair growth phase and shedding phase happened at the same time, it would mean our hair would always be short. We'd have little hair that grows out and then all our hair would shed off and then it would come back. The way it works is in your hair growth phase, a lot of the hair on your head is like growing longer, and then some of the other hairs are in the shedding phase, some of them are like in the dormant phase. So, God did what he does. Everything is balanced out perfectly, but sometimes more of your hairs are in the hair growth phase for a much longer time, and then that's when you see like all of a sudden maybe 2 months pass and you're like, whoa, where did that hair come from? My hair just looks so much longer all of a sudden. Using peppermint oil consistently can just catch that time whenever it just happens to happen to you, and that will actually really boost your hair growth. And then another thing about peppermint oil is it has been shown to deepen the follicles on your scalp. So whatever follicles you actually have, you can never increase them or reduce them, but you do have follicles under your scalp and then the follicles on your scalp. So underneath your scalp, you have about 5 million. On your scalp, you have about 100,000. Now that depends from person to person, of course. Of course, that's just an average. So if this kind of deepens your follicle, it means your hair is going to be strengthened and it's not going to shed as easily, leading to thicker hair, longer hair, because your hair is just going to stay rooted in your head. And also, when it was tested on mice back in the day, it actually did show that it increased the follicles on a mouse. So I'm guessing the follicles from underneath the hair showed up on top, or also, we aren't mice, so maybe mice can actually increase the amount of follicles they have, but that is actually a great sign for how well peppermint can work. So now I'm going to go into the directions of how to use peppermint oil, and note that all the rest of the essential oils can be used in this exact same way. So the first thing is to choose whatever carrier oil you want: olive oil, avocado oil, almond oil, macadamia, castor oil, whatever carrier oil you choose. Then get your oil, put in a couple drops, depending on how much it is. So like, let's say when I made this, it was about up to here, and I put about 5 to 7 drops of peppermint oil in that. If you are using just this much in your hair, you would only need 2 drops, as in one, two, and that's enough. And that is why it is so worth it to buy peppermint oil, even a big one or a tiny one. It is always so worth it to buy essential oils because you literally need a few drops and it lasts forever. So get a couple drops depending on how much oil you're using. So I can't necessarily tell you that. You just have to see the amount that you're using. But just put 2 drops, especially if it's the first time. Start with very little and then you can slightly increase over time. And then if you want to use it as a pre-poo, you can put this in your hair generously, massage it in, leave it in for 20 minutes, possibly with a shower cap to increase the heat on your scalp. Then you can go ahead and wash it out and do your complete wash day. Or you can do what I do and just use a little bit. I either put it on the fingertips or put it on my scalp, massage it into my hair, and then I just leave it in until the next time I wash my hair, and then that's when it gets washed out. I'm also going to have some hack coming soon, a shower hack, so that you can use peppermint oil while you're washing your hair. And this actually has shown extremely great results, like across the board for different hair types. My shower is almost done. I thought it takes like 2 days, but here we are. It's been like a week and a half later. It's still getting done. But when it is done, literally in a couple days, you actually see a full shower routine from me. I'll show you how to use peppermint in the shower to boost your hair growth. But for now, the tips that I've given you are actually really good. Okay, so the next oil is rosemary oil. The label is even almost rubbed off, and I will link these oils in the comment section below. I usually get my oils locally, but they are very popular, highly effective ones that are available where everybody buys things on Amazon, so I will link them there. You can check them out. So this is the oil. I also have rosemary in the garden, and it has these very pretty purple flowers on it. Look at that. It is so pretty. And again, Angelica, you have rosemary at home. Why do you buy the oil? Exactly the same thing as the peppermint oil. Girl, I'm not. But what I am willing to try is there's this like rosemary tea kind of thing where you kind of like boil the rosemary and it makes the water like purple, something like that. Rosemary water, rosemary tea, I don't know. If you would like me to try something like that, I'd be willing to try that. Just don't ask me to make essential oil out of this because it's not happening. But anyway, I do put rosemary in my food. Not that much. I'm not a huge fan of the flavor of rosemary, but in chicken, especially like grilled chicken, I will put rosemary in it, but I won't lie to you, I don't eat it often. But I do use the rosemary oil often, especially recently. I was using it a lot, then I forgot I had it, and then I started using it again, and I have seen amazing changes in my hair. So, rosemary is highly known for thickening the hair. So how it does that is it helps thicken your individual hair shaft. It just looks nice and plump and thicker. And second of all, it helps reduce your shedding, which means automatically more hairs on your head, less shed hairs. Your hair is going to be thicker, it's going to look fuller, and it will be fuller. It also promotes hair growth, just like peppermint oil. It's very good for promoting hair growth, and this is a very underrated oil. I don't think it gets talked about enough because it is highly effective, and the way it promotes thickness is about double the rate of how peppermint oil would promote thickness. So if you're trying to thicken up your hair, if you have naturally fine hair, or if you just feel like your hair is shedding a little bit too much, rosemary oil can actually really help you with that. The next oil is tea tree oil. And no, unfortunately, my drama ends here. I do not have a tea tree leaf or whatever to show you to say I also have tea tree. But tea tree oil is pretty affordable. I think out of all these oils, tea tree oil might be the cheapest, or it's just the same. Also, a difficult way to extract. Almost all essential oils are extracted around the same way. Tea tree oil is known for being antibacterial, antimicrobial, which means it's great for dandruff. If you've got any kind of dandruff that's been caused by like fungi or anything like that, people use tea tree oil on their face. I'm embarrassed to say I used to use tea tree oil on my face as well. It's actually too concentrated to be used on your face. Whenever you use tea tree oil or any essential oil, it should be perfectly formulated into a product, and also it should be very little, like very low in the ingredients list. So beware of that on your face. But in your hair, you still need to be pretty generous with it. But for both these oils, tea tree and rosemary oil, you can use about double the amount of peppermint oil you would use, but not more than that. And this is just amazing for that. If your hair is not itchy, if it's not getting dry and flaky, it means your scalp is in a great, clean environment, and a clean scalp thrives. Your hair grows so much faster, so much healthier. When your follicles are not clogged and damaged, your hair just grows out so much softer. These oils are the truth. When I literally say these oils saved my life, they saved my hair. My hair before I went natural was just a whole other thing. I will say about maybe 4 or 5 months before I went natural, I did try to start taking care of my hair. Maybe I can insert a clip of my big chop, but what I was doing was every time I grew almost an inch of natural hair, I would cut off about an inch. So by the time I was cutting off my relaxed hair, I just had maybe hair like this, maybe it was 2 to 3 inches, and I didn't even feel that bad when I was cutting it off. Before that, though, when my hair was relaxed, like it was, it was okay, but I just felt like it was just not, something was just wrong. It wasn't enough. But using these oils together, my hair is just like my edges are so full. I will say though, I do use rice water pretty often, and rice water really helps with the edges and thickening that. And I do use peppermint oil and tea tree oil in my rice water, and I think that also really helps boost the hair growth. If you've ever seen any of my rice water videos, then you see that those oils are always in my mixture. And also, if you don't brush your edges like me, the no brushing gang, no no hair gel, no laying the edges down, then it's kind of why I have the edges. It's because I don't do anything to them. So I just, it just came out of the twists like that, and I'm like, do your thing. Okay, so now we are going into the carrier oils, and this is the pure almond oil. And this is what it looks like. This is the KTC brand. Again, you can get any brand. This was just the cheapest one that was available to me. As you can see, it's basically finished. I had 2 bottles of this and I finished both of them this year. I love almond oil so much. It's one of the oils it's not that I didn't expect to like it. I just didn't use it as often because of how popular olive oil, castor oil, and avocado oil are. My favorite oil is still avocado oil. I have used it the best, but the reason I'm including this one in this video is because for the past year and a half, this has been the carrier oil that I have used the most and have seen the best benefits with. And most of the growth that I have in my head has been for the past year and a half. So it is something to say that almond oil is amazing. However, if you have a nut allergy, this could possibly be very highly allergic to you. So that's why I would recommend using avocado oil or olive oil instead. They all have slightly similar benefits. So one of the reasons I love almond oil is because it comes from nuts, and nuts are extremely high in fats and protein, and those are good for eating, of course. As you can see, there's a running theme here. I keep saying whatever you can eat it as well. It works well in your body, and then whatever you can put on top, also put it on top. Putting almond oil on your hair is just so amazing. It's high in fatty acids, it's high in proteins, which are amazing for hair. Your hair is mostly made up of proteins in the form of keratin, so adding protein to it really helps. Now also remember this, there is no kind of oil that is a moisturizer. Some oils feel moisturizing, but they work best to seal in the moisture, so you want to start by having your hair damp or wet, or have any kind of leave-in conditioner in your hair first, and then seal in with an oil, and then you will see maximum benefits. Else you might start to get that feeling where you're like, I'm constantly putting oil on my hair but it's feeling drier and drier. That is because you are just completely sealing in and locking in the dryness. And then, if you haven't used any of these oils or one of these oils before, I suggest you dilute it into whatever your favorite carrier oil is, whatever you have. You know, this year has been tough. We're not trying to overspend on things we don't need. If you have olive oil in your kitchen, go get a little bit of oil or olive oil, drop 2 drops of lavender oil, get 2 drops of rosemary oil, drop it in there, put it in your hair. Use it for about a week. See if you have any reaction to it. If there's no reaction, then great, it works well. If there's a reaction, stop using it. Don't try anything else. Just stop using it. Move on to the next oil. The same with all these other oils. So please do not mix them together unless you know you are not allergic to all of them. So if it all works for you, then you can go ahead and mix them together. And I only recommend mixing a maximum of 3 essential oils together with a carrier oil unless unless it's been specially formulated, like you buy a product like wild growth oil or do grow. I've only tried do grow. I haven't tried wild growth. And do grow pretty much works similarly to the oil mix I already make myself, but that one has way more oils in it. And if it's going to use that many oils, you'd rather a professional chemist who knows how to mix the perfect amount of ingredients of carrier and essential oils and preservatives into one for them to do that. When you're doing it at home, all natural products are highly unstable, so it's best to mix as few as possible, but to get the maximum benefits. So, this is my oil mix, and I think I'll maybe put a little clip or I'll link the video in the eye right here where I made this oil mix so you can check it out. And this oil actually has all the oils I just mentioned in this video and also a little bit of olive oil. And this is what I use on my scalp. I use it on my hair and it has been working so well for me. So if you want more videos about maybe more oils, different kinds of oils, just a different topic in general, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Hit my face right there if you didn't subscribe in the beginning. Hit my face here to subscribe to my other YouTube channel. Watch the 2 videos on the side of the screen right here. If you'd like to see any of my older videos, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!